update.
Good afternoon. Thanks for tuning in to NBC News Daily. I'm Haley Hines with your Midday Ark-La-Miss update. Ricky Knott, a suspect accused of serious charges, has been found and arrested. During the search, Monroe police officers attempted to arrest him, but he managed to avoid being captured. Knott ran into the woods near the Forsyth boat dock. Knott was wanted for rape and kidnapping. He had been at large since early yesterday evening. And shocking video related to what was already an incomprehensible case. An 11-year-old boy charged with shooting and killing his mother and his grandfather, Joe Cornelius Sr., a former mayor and city council member in Minden. While some in the community were quick to make judgments about the child, Keisha's oldest son was determined to share the truth with the world. The family spokesperson shared exclusive video with Yalisha Gatewood. We want to warn you, the video may be graphic.
They had my brother and my sister sitting in the back of the police car, and we stayed out there a couple of hours, and it was sad, and I started crying, and I was just confused.
In an exclusive interview with NBC6, 17-year-old Uriah Miles shared what happened on September 1st, the day his younger brother allegedly shot and killed their mother, Keisha Miles, and their grandfather, Joe Cornelius Sr.
This is a story of bravery and courageousness.
Family spokesperson Chanel Hudson says Uriah knew the public wasn't getting the full story.
In the original reporting, it was all about praising his grandfather, and he just felt something wrong with that because his mother got nothing.
Uriah uncovered a video his mother recorded of what he and Hudson say is Cornelius confessing to sexually assaulting his own daughter.
You always wanted something in return, and what you wanted was something sexual.
Whatever it is, you must have enjoyed it yourself too.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
no, I never did, Joe.
Mm-hmm.
Because I felt like I had to in order to survive.
Hudson says Uriah wanted this video to be shared with the public.
So I think his number one goal in coming forward with the truth is to essentially lend a proper portrayal of who his mother was and how she was impacted in the entirety of this situation.
She says on September 1st, Uriah's younger brother was allegedly trying to protect their mother, Keisha, from being assaulted again.
It just questions a lot of things as to what was really going on behind those closed doors on September the 1st. And, was the story wrong? Did the police chief and the mayor who supported this man get the story wrong?
Hudson says this video will raise new questions into Cornelius's legacy and provide perspective for his grandson's trial.
What I can say is his legal team is doing a really good job getting all the facts, getting everything that they need to get so that they can build a fair and proper defense for him.
And now, exclusive Storm Tracker Doppler weather with meteorologist Sammy Petracco.
Well, throughout the day, we really aren't going to see too much, at least for rain chance-wise. They're really going to stay off to the northwest, if there is any rain that actually happens off to the northwest. But with that, you might see a few clouds kind of move in from that area of low pressure that's sitting off to the northwest. And that's going to continue, probably linger, but then quickly dissipate as we head into the overnight. And then as we head into tomorrow, same thing. Low pressure is going to really start to try and push maybe some slight rain chances, but with the high pressure behind me moving from the east, that's really going to just fight, and it's not going to allow any rain chances to move into the area. So you're going to continue to see clear and sunny weather that's going to allow those temperatures to stay fairly warm throughout the most of the weekend. Before this front looks to move in, it's not going to move in on Sunday, but looks to move in on Monday and bring us some, at the taste of fall, some cooler weather. Arkansas, we have this burn ban as of right now. It's all in southern Arkansas. Just keep that in mind if you are throughout the weekend. Outdoor activities are go. Just stay clear from burning anything, and we're going to kind of put that down for Louisiana as well. Although we are not we're not under any burn bans as of right now. Day planner, again, throughout the day you're going to see plenty of sunshine, allowing those daytime highs to rise back up into the upper 80s. Continued sunshine and warm, with overnight lows falling into the upper 50s, mainly clear, slightly warmer. Tomorrow, same thing, you're going to see those upper 80s once again, more sunshine, and that warm trend continues throughout the weekend. And then before that dry front looks to move in and drop those temperatures.
When you see news happening, call the NBC 10 Fox 14 News Hotline, 812-1410, sponsored by RoofMax. Get a free estimate today.
That's it for your midday update. NBC News Daily continues.